Hello there and welcome back to another episode of Coaching Conversations with Nick and Chris from UpCoach. Nick, how are you this morning?
Hello. A little bit sore from the weekend because I did some exercising, but still fighting fit. We've got the week to recover. But
Good. Tell us what sort of exercising you were doing in the weekend.
well, the weekend was cardio. That was one thing. And number two, I worked around the house building boxes. So
Building
timber boxes.
boxes.
So that was a little bit of exercise, lifting and cutting stuff.
Yeah.
I think I still got like 3/4 of the box of sawdust in my eyes from the power saw. So, and even after my wife said, put glasses on 8 times, us men don't do glasses.
Well, I was just about to suggest the same thing as your wife. Did you try putting a pair of glasses on?
No, I was squinting a lot and the dust was going in there.
Yeah, I'm rubbing it into my eyes. So,
Yeah, it's
I'm okay.
more manly if the dust is in your eyes.
It's more manly. That's
or
right.
maybe it's more stupid, one or the other. I think it's probably the stupid part rather than the manly.
Anyway, we won't go into stupid stuff today.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that could be a whole episode.
Yeah. The stupid things that business owners do.
That's right. That manly business owners do.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, today I want to talk or kick things off about purpose. And I kick things off with the theme of purpose. It's really important in business to have a defining goal or a greater reason for wanting to get up and go to work. And a lot of people in business that may struggle with the day-to-day, maybe because they don't have a clear enough purpose, they don't have a clear enough reason for running their businesses. So, Nick, let's start there. I want to know, what is your purpose, or what's your purpose for UpCoach or for what you do, and how important is purpose in business?
Yeah, look, I mean, that question is a big question, right? However, I boil it down to a few kind of timelines, I suppose is probably it. When I was younger, the purpose was, become the biggest business owner, that I could possibly be, become a world level coach, push humanity forward with everything that I do. And now today at 52, the purpose is a little bit different. So I think having an adjustable purpose with a similar theme is probably the way. And let me kind of backtrack a little bit. I've always tried to figure out, here's the bigger purpose, why am I here? But I've always tried to figure out, why is it that I gravitate towards certain things? Why do I like Japanese food? Why do I like samurai? Why do I like martial arts? Why do I like things around mastery? Why do I like things that are finesse? Why do I like studying? And then the other side of it is, why do I really love teaching? Why do I love writing? Why do I love hanging out with people, presenting live? All of these things, doing these recordings, all of that stuff. And I look back and I connected a thread, and literally with everything that I've done, whether it's been, my years as a tool maker, 20 plus years as a musician, 4 of those years professional, did 500-600 plus shows, albums, all of these things that I did, I found 2 common threads that actually have created my purpose. So I don't define purpose as a singularity. I define purpose as a cluster of things that you kind of do regardless of what the field of it is. When I was in wellness, I figured that I really love to serve humans. It's really, really important for me. I love to help other people. So number 1 priority. Number 2, I also love to educate and help people achieve goals. That's really important for me. So throughout, if you look at it, I've always to be of service to somebody, and also to be of service to myself by doing that. Because I believe a purpose needs to be not only selfless, but selfish as well.
Right.
It needs to be for you as well. I think it's really important. So to define, is purpose important? The answer is 1000% important. It's actually what creates you. I think the misconception that most people have is they're trying to find what their purpose is, this holy grail of, I need to be, the world's best speaker. And I'm like, well, how do you going to define that? Or, I need to be on TED. That was a big thing for me, to be a TED speaker, TED speaker, right?
Right.
And to me, it's not as dominant now for me. And it's more because there's a shift in me also where because we're on stage so much and done so much touring, it's not necessarily there. And the purpose for me shifted into, how can I help a particular group of people that can then help a lot more people? So to define a purpose today, it's more around trying to shift the statistics around of 4 out of 5 businesses going broke to 4 out of 5 businesses succeeding.
Right.
That's the purpose. The mission is to work on that and chip away from that. And we are turning it around, even though it's at a small level. But now, as you know, we've had thousands and thousands and thousands of people come to our events. Thousands have read my book. Thousands have interacted with our podcast, our live ads,
Yeah.
So all of these things have a ripple effect. And when you look at in Australia, there's under 2 million businesses. We've had a pretty good chunk. Is it the biggest chunk? The answer is no. But do you see what I'm sort of alluding to here is that the purpose, as long as it's a cluster of things that you look forward to, doesn't have to be this something in the distant. Have I reached my purpose?
Right.
The answer is no. The purpose is always working on it.
Okay. Does process come into that as well?
Yeah, look, I think so, because a lot of people don't unlock their potential. I think purpose and potential are really close to each other.
Okay.
If an athlete doesn't train with an Olympic coach, as an example, and they're working towards becoming an Olympian, it's very difficult for them to unlock that full potential, whether it's in their mind, their heart, their spirit, or their physical body, because that's what it takes.
Yeah.
And you see this across everything. If you want to be a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star hat chef or restaurant, I mean, you really got to live, breathe, and be amongst the best of the best. You have to
it's a dedication.
The dedication. So I think that part is important. Now, the process to it is really important. See, most people are just working in the business, work, but they're never really sitting back for a second and going, well, why am I doing all this?
Yes, that's right.
What's the bigger reason for this? Is it, we just put roof tiles on, or do we, sell trinkets out of a store, or, clothes, or is there a bigger reason you're doing it? I sell clothes to somebody because it makes them feel better, and in turn builds their confidence, and in turn, people that are 18 and selling you a pair of jeans aren't possibly thinking at that level. Do you see what I mean? So, and a lot of the times, I think step 3 to this is, if purpose isn't shared, so it's not announced to go, this is why I do something, most people don't even get it. McDonald's wasn't about the burgers. McDonald's was about the process of making the burgers, and ultimately about the property that they're creating. So they built a business that's cash flowed to purchase more property. So do you see bigger purpose, owning the biggest amount of property other than the church globally? It's pretty crazy, right? When you think, so that's how I see it. Like, spirituality is the purpose for religion. Religion is the construct. The spirituality is the purpose of evolving spiritually as a human. Yeah. But everybody says, we've got our own faction of purpose. But really, it's about the evolution process, not whatever religion that you're a part of. All roads lead to kind of become
that's
a better
right.
human.
So if you're in a, let's say, a services-based business, maybe you're a tradie or something like that, and you're either, putting nails in, building houses, like you said, putting roofs on, tiling, you put up plasterboard for a living. What advice do you have for those people that are, I guess, trying to find purpose, or they might be listening or watching this and going, that's great, but, I don't think my purpose is to do plasterboard for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's a great question. When I used to be in the automotive industry, I used to sell cars. That was it, wholesale and retail.
Right.
And one of the things that I did differently was I did a safety check on all the cars. It had like a 30 or 40 point safety check that was on each car, so they could see it.
Yeah.
Oil change, filter change, tuned it, did all that stuff for every car, whether it was $1,000 car or a $50,000 car.
Right.
And, the little things, made sure that the aircon was cold. There's grease when you open the door. Just the little things that most people didn't even consider, right? Mm-hmm. Now, for me, that plus how I presented, the business out there to people was kind of my purpose. Now, people go, well, how does I don't know, putting plaster up become a purpose. The actual purpose is the work itself and how you've influenced your employees and or the clients that have been in contact with you. Oh my God, geez, they did a great job. Geez, the service was amazing. I've learned from that, and actually I've told other people about this business because they were so good. So your purpose there becomes the process. It's like, I like to study samurai, right? And samurai is basically a study of perfection in some way, shape, or form, whether it's tea ceremony or fighting with a sword. And the samurai was obviously there to protect, right? It's to serve and protect is kind of the word, right? Now, in saying that, I've seen interviews with, direct descendants from samurai and, 90 years in sword fighting and kendo and stuff like that. And they go, in the 90 years, I still haven't perfected the strike. I still have, this guy's been doing it since he was 4, direct descendant from a samurai. He's like 93 or something like that, owns the Kwun, which is like the dojo where, they train. And this guy, after 90 years, still hasn't perfected it. So you could imagine, like, that level of thinking. This is all he does, right? We're respected globally, he's at that level. So to me, I think purpose, the word itself feels like, you have to be something unique and change the world where it's not. I mean, yourself, a good artisan, bread making artisan, that's all they do. And their work is the purpose, their craftsmanship, their skillmanship, or skill womanship, obviously. Like Jane Goddard, she's with the gorillas. That's her purpose. The purpose isn't the gorillas. The purpose is the connection for all of us globally to see the life of what it's like to be a gorilla, like with a human. It's that interface connection. It's pretty incredible. Leonardo painted it with the God reaching out to the human, right? That it's the interface, and her entire life is dedicated to that. So is it the purpose or is it the process of what she done? Within the process becomes the bigger reason why, so to speak.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Like, it's a bit weird, but like a plasterer is like, well, I'm putting up plaster, but the process of it, the accumulation of people that they work with, the clients, the way that they do things, the refinement in it, leads on to other people learning that skill set.
Yeah, that's right.
Craftsmanship.
And there could be greater purpose for someone who's a tradie, because that they might be doing that in part to obviously fine tune their skill, but their greater purpose could be contributing to, I don't know, a volunteer group or their family.
Exactly.
Something in the larger or bigger picture, which is not directly associated with plastering, but it's more about, that's the vehicle to provide them with life's purpose. So there's really a twofold approach there.
Completely. It allows them to go and serve another purpose.
That's right.
Pretty awesome, right? Like,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, where and that's what I think is happening kind of generationally at the moment. There's a lot of people suffering from, what do I do? There's a lot of uncertainty. There's not a lot of mastery, or the ability to really work at something. Most people feel that it's boring. Well, the truth of the matter is, it's not. Anything can be boring, even rocket science.
Yes.
If you thought of it like that,
yes.
Like I saw a, interesting debate, why should we spend all this money on Mars while we should spend it on the planet? And guess what? We can do both. Like, we should spend money on the next level of space exploration. It calls us as humans, but we also need to preserve this amazing planet, So is somebody that studies marine microbiology, is that any different than somebody that's a world level DJ? Like, which is boring? The microbiologist, it's their life. That's their thing.
Yes.
That's their purpose.
Yeah.
Where the DJ, well, that's their purpose. Like, it's pretty cool, right? Where if you do something long enough, it actually makes you better at it. And I think you sort of go up and down. I mean, I know myself, I was getting a bit burnt out from presenting so much, right? And then I've really taken a better, even more push now towards my purpose, because I'm just enjoying life. And I figured purpose is best done where you don't have to do it forcefully.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, completely. It should be something that provides you, or ultimately in participation of the process towards purpose, that results in a level of fulfillment, whether it's ongoing or eventual.
Yeah, correct. It's funny. Once I helped a chef for a day, you
Hmm.
know, cutting up carrots, cutting up
Yeah.
different things,
Mm.
and I was like, "Geez, it doesn't look like Master Chef." And he
You're like,
goes,
where's my apron with the M on it?
"Yeah, yeah, exactly." Well, they had because they had an event for 100 people.
Yeah.
Peel, it was like 20 kilos of prawns,
Yep.
and I can guarantee after the first 500 grams, I was like, "This is boring."
Is there anything else I can do now?
Yeah, like, like it's cut up like 14 million carrots. And funny enough, because that isn't my purpose, that wasn't what I'm concentrating on. To me, it felt really boring. To him,
Hmm.
he's talking, yeah, cool. And that was kind of how he did it. And
Yeah.
he was proud that he's making the, squares of the carrot perfectly. You know,
Yes,
mine weren't perfect. So do you know what I mean? Like
I
it's
do.
you can see amazingness in everything that you do if
Mm.
you really think of it as a bigger reason why you're doing it for something
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. If you're in business and you're thinking about, you might be listening to this and starting to think about your purpose, that's the first step. If you have never thought about it before, now is the time to start thinking, why am I here? What am I doing this for? And it starts with those internal questions. Then you will eventually travel down a path of kind of self-realization or just realization about why you do what you do. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
I had to look back to figure out what's moving forward.
right.
Because I was like, why this industry? Why that?
Why am I
Why
doing
that?
this? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
me, we spoke about this before. I really like property and renovating. And I
Mm.
really love it. I love doing things with my hand. And I don't know whether that's my dad's gene in me because that's what he did. And I equally love doing this. I love to
Mm.
speak. I love to, could I combine the best of both worlds? Well, maybe that's what it is, renovate and then
Start a
show other
YouTube
people how to
channel
do
on.
it.
Yeah, you could do that.
Well, there's a lot of people that do that now.
So heaps.
That's their purpose. So I think purpose is changing. I've found that every 10 years it feels like I need to do something new,
Right.
something a bit different.
Mm.
Or else you just become. Doesn't make you lose your purpose. You've seen people that they should have sold the business, closed it, changed it, gave it to somebody else years ago.
Yes.
Instead, they
Yeah.
kept doing it for the money.
Well, yeah, I was going to say they're just doing it for the job or for the money at that point.
Yeah,
And
correct.
yeah. So there we go. Start defining or looking at the reason for why you run a business. What's your purpose? Nick said it 1000%. Yes, it's important. So what's the real reason for you? While we're talking about tradies, service-based businesses, let's talk about lead generation. So slight segue here. What's the best lead generation source that you think of or Nick, for a service-based business?
Yeah, yeah, that's a cool question. First of all, I feel when I hear service versus product based, service is I'm here to serve somebody else with my expertise. Usually that's what it's going to be.
Yep.
Whether you build coffins, you're a funeral director, or you're building ships for transport, whatever it
Sure.
may be. Right?
Sure.
At the end of the day, if you sell expertise, which is service, I think one of the best lead generating opportunities is how do you show somebody what you do
Right.
for free?
Sure.
Now, there's, asterisks around it, right?
Mm.
Conditions apply.
Yeah.
Can you show somebody how to build an entire house because you're a builder? Hey, let me build your house, and then, if you're happy with it, we're going to be cool.
Mm.
The answer is no. However, can you sell your time? And the answer is yes. So, can you show them a design, speak to them about a design, go through what you're going to do, give them a little sample of ideas, show them that you understand exactly what their needs are. In our case, give them the opportunity to do a strategy session with
Mm-hmm.
us.
Mm-hmm.
Strategically, this is how we're going to show you how to help you. Give them some free time. So I think if you can give something of really good value straight up, if you're a service-based business, it's really good. I
Mm.
don't know. Let's say if you do bathrooms, free quote and design would be really, really cool. Free samples of tiles, as an example, would be good. Free design of 3D rendering of what your bathroom's going to look like.
Yep.
So ultimately, you're showing them, hey, we get to understand what you need, and here's, by taking our services up, here's what it's going to look like for you, or here's, and roughly the process. Because most people in service most people that want a service-based business, it's different to a product. I go buy a phone, I know sort of what it's going to look like.
Sure.
If I want a pen, I sort of know what it's going to.
Yeah.
But with a service-based, you're like, well, I'm trying to imagine what happens when they, add the next story to my house. I've got an idea of it, but I don't know exactly. So if you can share what you do in a manner that normally people would pay for, but you can give that or portion of it away for free just for them to experience it, and this has been done for 1,000 years in food. Yeah, check out these 2 olives, see if you like them, and then you go, yeah, give me a little punnet of olive, a little container, or here, to taste this beer, see if you like it. It's the same. It's exactly the same principle. It's just you're selling your time and expertise, or giving your time and expertise away for free. And I think that's the best lead gen source.
Okay.
You could ever do.
Okay, so package up a free consult, design, quote, assessment, anything that provides your level of service as a taster level. Best form, hands down.
Best form. And not only taster, but explains experience, explains that you understand what the client's after. Most of the 99% of the time, the people don't move ahead with you because they don't know exactly what you do and how you're going to do it for them.
Yes, or your level of expertise.
Or your level of, the other reason you trust, a specialist in the medical industry is because you've been branded to trust a specialist, and because all they do is whatever problem that you've got, that's what they specialize in. We're talking purpose before, right? That's the other reason why you don't go there and, hey, let me do, that diploma that you've got behind you, or that, certificate that says you're amazing. Can you absolutely break this all down for me and show me all your study work and show me, unless, I can print them now, but, back in the day, they got the stamp. It means that you've qualified yourself into something, and that's why people take you on board. Now, as a service-based business, you're actually a specialist in your arena, but you just maybe don't have those. We don't have the foundation that's been laid like the medical industry has laid that foundation. Nurse, doctor, specialist, surgeon, professor. Isn't that the sort of
I think so.
thing that happens? But a professor that's a specialist cardiologist, surgeon, they're only professor in that. Ask him to change a tire on the car, and they're like, it's not what they do.
That's
but
right.
We trust them explicitly to go, I'm going to cut this guy open, take the heart out, do whatever, and put, it's crazy when you think about it like that. So now that's interesting. Could somebody like that go, hey, let me just give you a free sample, come over on Tuesday, we'll cut you open, I'll show it to. No, they can't. But can they give their expertise away? And they usually do, but it costs you $500 for.
Yeah, they get you to do an assessment. Well, they might ask some questions first and then determine
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
But that's what they do. You explicitly trust them, even though you don't know what the process is going to be. I've got no idea what. I've got 2 stents in. I was looking at the camera doing it, but I got no idea which vein that they needed to find, the artery, and how they inflated it. I could see it happening, and it's insane. I'm talking to him, and he's doing it at the same time. It's a bit of a surreal thing while I'm awake.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? It's. But I explicitly trusted him because he's the guy that, they're putting the gloves on and the whole team's around him.
Yep.
And that's how you want to think about it as a service-based business. How do you put that out there into the world by saying, hey, this is what I'm really, really good at. And let me demonstrate it to you to show you how good we are.
Right. Good. It's all about leveraging expertise to build trust. Great. Quick last question, Nick. Let's finish on a strong point here. I need another cash flow tip from you. Last time we spoke, we knocked out a couple of cash flow tips. What's another red hot cash flow tip that you can provide for us this week?
Yeah, very good. So I've been listening to the book Profit First, right? Which is, I'm going to say, a modern day version of the richest man in Babylon,
Babylon.
right?
Yep.
Which is, written forever ago. And basically it says take 10% of your money, save it, and pay yourself first. That's kind of the whole principle. So I think a cash flow tip that's really good that we don't do a lot of is have several different accounts that you could ferry little bits of money in. It's like, back in the day we used to have the envelope, and you got that envelope for saving, and that
Yep.
envelope for, a rainy day, and that envelope to buy a present for the kids for Christmas.
Yep.
It's the same principle. And today we don't need envelopes because everything's kind of digital, right? So you could open up some of those little accounts. So I suppose the tip for today is to be able to say, well, if cash flow is one of the things that you struggle with, first of all, I'd go, how much cash flow do I need per month? And it's funny, I've just been going through some of this with some of my businesses, and these are $2, $3, $4 million plus businesses. So their cash flow may be 150 grand a month, 200 grand, whatever. Right? So one of those things is A, find out exactly how much cash flow you need, and 2, start a process to start to save that cash flow. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It'd be good if it did, but sooner or later, if you put a little bit of money aside, and don't touch it, guess what? You're going to get a cash flow account. And a really good goal would be 3 months worth of trading. If you can get to 3 months worth of trading, it's awesome. Now, that 3 months may take you 4 years to get to it, right? But you got to start somewhere, and you got to start slowly, and you got to start doing it, right? And then people go, Nick, I need the money now. Well, okay, that's called a loan, right? Because you're living without your means, not within your means, right? So, or you're running a business that shouldn't be run because you don't have that cash flow in order to do it. So you're severely underfunded. So your strategy or model is completely wrong. This is 99% of businesses that we work with. So what do we need to do? Change the model. How do I change the model? By changing the saving pattern around. How do we do that? By starting to put some money away. Now, if you've got multiple accounts that you can ferry little bits to and then live off the rest, that's the ultimate goal. But for now, even if you just open one cash flow account and started putting some money aside into it, and it doesn't have to be much. It could be 1%, 2%. If you get paid $1,000, it's $10. $10 may not be much, but if you got $1,000 every week, it's $10 every week. It's $500 at the end of the year. Well, you're $500 closer to where your cash flow is.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's only at $10. But maybe you can increase that to 10%, so it's $100. That's $5,000 at the end of the year. You know what I mean? Like $5,000 is pretty cool. Like you can save for a whole day. With me, every time I book holidays, I always try to book them in advance, pay for them in advance, or save throughout the year. So when I go away, I've already got the money there. I hate going away, cranking up $2 or $3 or $4 on the credit card, then coming back and going, shit, it's February, I got to pay for it.
I'm going to pay it off. Yeah.
I'd rather go, cool, it's February, I paid it, but here's the money in the account. Done. And how do I save that $5,000? It's $100 a week. Exactly what I'm showing you.
Yeah. So we need to set up smaller accounts and again, pay ourselves first, but create that discipline to put small amounts of money away every week so that we build these reserve accounts that we can use to pay things like expenses and ourselves and have a profit account. And if you want more on this, read the book Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. I can't pronounce his last name correctly. Brilliant book. It goes into some great detail. I think it's fantastic for every business owner to read. That'll wrap us up today, Nick. Thank you very much once again.
Hey, no problem. I hope the listeners enjoy this.
And if you have any other questions that you want us to answer on this podcast, shoot them through to ask@upcoach.com.au, and we'll see you all again on the next episode. So bye now.
Adios.